Yes, I'm very, very excited for season 2.
Yes, yeah, there's definitely a lot of really fun moments with these characters in season 2, which yay, there is a season 2. I get to say that now.
Did I do that?
Definitely most of my improv, I think, is second season. I can't think of anything that I did in the first season. I think it's all your genius writing, so I won't take any credit for it. But I love when I'm like now you get up, and then Stolas has his beautiful, magical, loving song, and it's just so amazing. And you're just like, I'm like goosebumps and and then I just interrupt. You're gonna fuck this one too. Like ruin all the magic of that beautiful, like joyful, loving, heartfelt song. So I think that would probably be one of my favorites. Or obviously at the end where the reveal.
Yeah, no, that's such a fun line, but just for a fun moment that I remember being very like honored by was I wrote a line. I can't say what line it is yet because it's actually one of the few lines from the last episode, in episode 8, but I wrote a line and you read it and you were like, that's something I would have written. And
I know exactly what line it is you're talking about, because it's still my favorite line from the entire episode in the upcoming one. And I actually still say that line in person to, like, you know, whenever that moment is applicable for me to say, I'm like, absolutely not, I wouldn't. You know, and I'm so excited. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Doesn't count if they don't find the body. I remember doing that line like in a bunch of different ways in the recording session and realizing that probably the most validating sound I've ever heard in my life is Richard's like belly laugh. Like that is, I love doing those sessions so much. I saw both of you cracking up, but you were on mute, and like knowing whether or not it worked was just seeing how like much of a belly laugh I could get out of Richard. So that was a lot of fun. I'm excited about some of the other stuff we play with in season 2 as well. That's coming up, because there's some really fun stuff we played with there too. But just working on with the lines that Sally Mae had in that episode, just the different ways of approaching them and trying to harness the peak amount of snark that we can pack into in each one of those. I also have to say that one of the reasons I love those lines so much is what the animators did with them, with her body movement in it. Like I can have a vision in my head of what she's going to look like, but they took it to another level with her expressions and what she looks like in the background. And she says that line, dragging the body behind her, and she has like just like a great little shit expression on her face as she's just, you know, ribbing Millie. And then her next line over, when she enters the frame, she has this almost like, you know, sarcastic kitty face, like coming into frame. I had so much fun animating her and giving her like the right body movement and expression with the lines. So it was fun to see the full picture a year after the fact.
Yeah, for sure. One then. Here's another question from the audience. Do you feel like you relate to your character, not in the literal demon sense, but do you feel you're on the same wavelength as them in any way? Let's start with Brandon.
Well, I definitely relate with Blitz for sure. And I know it's like, he's not a great character on the surface, and he kills people. He you know, verbally harasses people. But you know, I mean, I relate to the struggle, to where it comes from, and I relate to trying to better myself, being an entrepreneur or any kind of running my own type of livelihood like many of us do. It's really hard, and Blitz had a passion for showbiz. I hope that I don't fall out of it and become an assassin, but if I did, I think I would run a very similar operation as him. And my boyfriend looks very much like Stolas. He's not he's as very,
is he an owl?
Yeah.
He does.
You know? And
That's
so,
yeah.
And I don't know. It's just and the way we started dating was a very like I don't know. I can't give away anything from season 2, but season 2 is really where we got to know Blitz in season 1, and then season 2, the way things unfold, I'm like, oh, I sympathize with them. So again, it means a lot when fans sympathize with them too, because I take it personally. I'm like, I think they'd understand me if they met me in real life too. But I don't know. This is yeah, I love him very much. But I also relate to Loopty Goopty, who was my abusive addition to this series. I think he's really cool. If I ever go to hell, I want to glide in on a loopty. I even drew a sketch when I wrote that character.
You did.
I drew a sketch of what Loopty Goopty would look like, and then I saw it, and it was spot on. I drew like the little things coming in and looping around, and like all the scissors and stuff shooting out of his body, and it was just cool seeing a team of animators bring that to life, and the glasses and everything. Ooh, it was just such a cool. So I relate to both of them very much.
Well, awesome. I think since we're getting kind of to the end, I guess my final question for everyone here is, what are you looking forward to in season 2? And you can be as vague as you want, because like I know it's kind of a tricky thing to answer without spoiling, but anything from just where you're kind of looking forward to the show going, or your character going, or anything that you're looking forward to from what we recorded ages ago that people will be seeing hopefully soon.
I'll go first because speaking of being a dad, I'm gonna hop off and go pick up daddy duty. But my answer is the music. I'm excited to share that there's some more original music coming in season 2, and I won't give anything away, but having heard some of it, there's just some kick-ass songs that our fans are just going to lose their minds over. And some of them I still have in my head, which I just think that I can't wait for people to hear them. I can't wait to hear them. So I'm really excited for more original music, and also just to see this, to see Stolas and Blitz continue to try and define what their relationship is really exciting to think about how people are going to digest that. And thank you to all for your time, and to the fans. I'll be signing sometime in the next few days. Just keep an eye out on socials, and I'll let everybody know. And I hope all your guys' signings go well. And thank you again for having us and hosting.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Of course, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much for joining. So amazing. Up next, let's go to Erica.
Being in it. I'll say. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Georgie.
Oh my God, I'm looking forward to everything. Just everything. Just every episode that comes out, I'm just like blown away by every part of it, and just the animation, the writing, the voices, the skills. It's just a mind-blowing show, and luckily the success is even more mind-blowing. So I'm just excited for it to keep going, and yeah, that you guys will hear more of me this season, hopefully.
Yes. Morgana.
I'm again just excited to do this today, to say that was just Sally Mae's introduction. There's going to be a lot more of her coming up. So really excited to be able to reveal what that is and explore her relationships with other characters a little bit more. And yeah, I'm really excited for people to see what we have planned with her.
Absolutely. Jayden.
Well, it'd be great to see how those cherubs are doing following their last appearance. But I also do another character. I don't know if it's still there, but that was a lot of fun, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that design translates. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very nice. And then Brandon.
Well, I really can't even hint to anything with my character in season 2 without giving away a lot. I'm very fascinated to see what the theory channels say when when certain episodes drop, because I'm like, wow, you were really on, or wow, you were really off. And I'm curious to see how they admit how wrong they were or how right they were. I'm excited to see more of Stella. I'm excited to be, Georgie and I are currently in a different series where we couldn't be more in love with each other.
I know, yeah.
And then we go into Helluva Boss, and she's hiring people to, harm those whom I love. And so,
Yes.
anyway, I don't. I really can't give anything, any hints, but I mean, the best is yet to come. My personal favorite moments, my favorite songs, my favorite storylines, we aren't even here yet, and so I'm just excited to see the reaction, see the comments, and see how people absorb this very amazing second season. Yeah.
I do like to say that season 2 was, I feel like, where the show really finds, like we find itself, it found itself by the end of season 1, and season 2 is just all of it being itself. And so I honestly cannot wait for you guys to start it. Obviously, we're pretty deep into production. I know that's the first question everyone's going to have is, when does it come out? And the answer is we literally are baking this season as we go. You know what I mean? Like, we are in production, but it all depends on, like, just literally the creation of it and how fast we can get it done. Obviously, every episode kind of comes with its own set of challenges. The finale of season 1, it kind of has a very special challenge of it being a very effects heavy episode and things like that. And moving into season 2, the runtime is actually getting bigger. So, we're constantly learning as writers also, like, kind of what the run times are and how to tell these stories effectively. So there's so much that goes into the show, and what makes it complicated as to, like, when it'll actually appear. But I'm really excited because we're going to bring it to you as fast as we can, and obviously it's going to be worth the wait. But I'm seeing a couple questions for whether or not Stolas will sing kind of the extended version of that lullaby, which, as of right now, no, we didn't record that, but I will say that Stolas has some brilliant music in season 2 to look forward to. So, that satiates people a little bit. I get that question a lot as well.
The season 2 music rips.
It does.
Really does.
It's
my
great.
God.
I have a question, if that's okay. I have a question. Have there been any songs that were cut? I mean, were there songs that were originally there for something and then you had to change it? I've never thought about that until this moment.
So there was a song in season 2 that was cut, and then there was the music bit, the sort of musical reggae bit that Moxie had that was cut out of Moxie's Bad Trip. But generally,
that one exists.
Yes,
so people
and that does exist and was recorded. The thing that was cut from season 2, I don't think was recorded, Vivian, right?
It wasn't recorded, and I don't think it was meant to be recorded either. It was a song that was going to be in a montage. And so I think the reason it was cut was because of time. Because so I get to talk about something that I learned over the course of season 2. So something that we have done on another project that I have learned is amazing is including the lyrics in the script, because we did not do that on Helluva Boss. And I was wondering why these episodes were turning out to be much longer than I had originally expected. And it's because the script is a certain length, and then we throw a 3-minute song in there. And I'm like, oh yeah, that might be why. It's so long. So season 2 is much longer than season 1. It's longer in the sense that it has more episodes in the season itself. And it's also longer as in, like, every episode's runtime is kind of capping out at around a certain amount, which is more than season 1. So that's another reason why, full disclosure, guys, it's going to take a little bit more time. But it'll be worth it. I mean, the episodes are amazing, but that was one of the reasons, because that song, we actually have 2 songs in that episode. And one of them is a character song and the other one was this montage song. And so when it came time for me like editing the animatic and working on it, I was just like, okay, I'm so sorry, Sam, but this song is not technically needed.
Or
so
no,
I'm
yeah. I actually think it was going to be 3 songs in that episode.
Yeah, I think so.
It got cut down to 2, but there were 3. I think, yeah, because it was 2 of the songs that Andrew and I did together, and then
that's a different episode.
Oh, that's a different. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, okay, so another answer is that there was a song that you wrote that I really liked, but it wasn't quite what worked for the scene.
Right.
So we cut it for that reason, but that song is still in there. We just one of the new songwriters did a stab at it, and so his is going to be in it. And what you did was amazing, and I kind of want to find a place for it maybe in the future. Because I won't speak too far ahead of the show, but
yes,
we're always thinking about the future.
We are.
So
it's hard to have these conversations with an audience that we cannot. That there's like, oh yeah, well there, well,
oh wait,
yeah.
The most challenging thing I know for sure is there's definitely stuff in season 2 that's more challenging than season 1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
for
like
a good reason.
The songs
it's complicated.
Yes, I feel like the songs in season 2, not only are they complicated songs, but there's also there's a lot of acting in the songs in season 2. So they're kind of a double whammy of interesting to do, but super fun to hear and witness.
Oh no, I was just gonna say one of the songs that I anticipate being maybe almost as difficult. Like I feel like Alex and I are gonna be in this together as just like this is a hard song. Is a very long song that doesn't really go anywhere very fast. That Alex has to do a lot of very different musical styles on.
Yes.
And that song for sure. When people find out what that is, I don't think they will be surprised that is for me has been the hardest thing I had to write for the whole show.
Wow.
Easily the already and now it is sort of in there, but easily the hardest thing to learn from top to bottom in a while because it really does. It's not all that intuitive. It's just that like where certain things follow a verse, chorus. This is much more of a sort of beef stew of a song.
Yeah. So look out for a real beef stew of a song.
There is a beef stew of a song. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because that song in particular, you turned around pretty fast, and I was a little shocked by that because I was like, "Whoa, that was a really complicated song," and you must have hit a creative stream and just followed it down.
Part of it is that by very nature, without giving very much away, by very nature, the song is supposed to feel very improvisational. So I didn't want to take too much time with it. I really wanted to be like, okay, what happens next? Yeah, this. What happens next? This. Without second guessing a single choice, because I knew if I got into that kind of editing, like, is there a better way to do that? Is there a different way to do that? I knew it would feel less spontaneous, and it needs to feel very spontaneous.